turned on. Now how do I look? Is this pro? I think I'm too close to my background for any book guy. But we'll check that out in a minute. So light kit, final piece of my new kit. Got here yesterday. And now I can look fancy. I wish I had this for a couple of shoots I've already done. Or one shoot I've already done. But hey, here we are, talking about it. Looks cool, looks fancy. I hope you enjoyed that little thing. I don't know. I got it on eBay. One single light, $27 kit. I didn't feel like I needed the two light kits coming from different angles. In retrospect, I kind of would have leaned maybe towards a ring light. I don't know. This really lights up the room, and I don't have great lighting in my house. So after looking at this setup here, feeling pretty good about it. So there you go. Does this light make my bicep look big? A-roll, B-roll. This angle looks kind of cool. Like, you know, window light, my new light kit, coffee, my dog. Hey A-roll, how's it going? So, I don't know. This is one of those videos where you're just gonna watch me mess around with stuff. You know, this coffee cup was designed to write something really cool around the edge. Problem is, sat in my cabinet for like, I don't know, 5 years. So one morning I got up, I was like, I'm totally gonna write something on this cup today, bake it in the oven. That's gonna be my fancy cup. But the porcelain pin did not work. I guess it was dried out. So then my wife tried to toss it. I was like, no, I like that cup. It's actually a nice thick cup. It's keeping it warm. Got good cozy layers. Hey, you guys see my giraffe? Boom, chaka 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 chaka. Boom, chaka 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 chaka. Well, I guess it's Elise's giraffe. You know, I gave her a word the other day that she was like a giraffe. Like this prophetic word that she could reach the leaves on the top of the trees that had direct access to sunlight. Tied that into heaven touching earth. Hey, this is a Christian vlog, by the way. But not only that, I don't know, how long have we been doing this, Mr. Giraffe? Giraffe hasn't been in our family too long. I'm going to set Giraffe down now. But I started vlogging in 2012. My first book, Call for Revivals, came out. My dog is trapped behind the giraffe. And it's this book right here. But it didn't look like this, but one day I thought I'm going to do a short little video on my, just on YouTube. I had YouTube since 2007, so I thought I'd do a cool video about my book. And we get the word out, hey, easy on Giraffe, Riley. Then I just, you know, I was like, whoa, I had this cool revelation. And I thought I would tell everyone about this cool revelation. It's still one of my lowest hit videos. It's about heaven's not just a destination. I don't know what I was about to grab. Anyways, I kept making videos from there. So there are always teaching videos. There are always videos where like I'm sharing, oh, I was about to show you my journal. Check this out, my fancy smancy journal. I've been journaling for a long time. But all of a sudden, so like these cool little things I could get from journaling, I can now do by vlogging. Am I switching cameras too much? I'm really liking this one. This camera's kind of over right beside the light. It's looking kind of white. I don't know. I'll check it out in the video. But start sharing these cool, you know, revelations I was getting. Are you in the video, Bobbies? And over time, like, I started following different vloggers. I'm into CrossFit and fitness, so I started following Craig Ritchie. And just watching his day-to-day life was like fun and interesting. So I thought, it'd be really cool to do that and capture some of the stuff, maybe behind the scenes with some of the ministry that Elise and I do. And so we started making the DNA experience about 1.5 years ago. Some of those vlogs are down below. But getting better and better at them, kind of recording the conferences we were at, some of the speakers you guys know and love. And My good friend Eric Gilmore started, right before I started kind of going from just teaching stuff to vlogging, my good friend Eric Gilmore did the same thing a couple months earlier. And he's had, you know, he's one of the more well-known Christian YouTubers, and he really just, man, he really talks about the presence of God and making God key in everything you do, everywhere you go, your entire being wrapped in His presence. And the reason you do the vlogs, the reason you pray, the reason you do anything that God gives you, it's because it comes from that pure source, that hidden source, that sweet wine of the very presence of Jesus Himself. And He really carries and embodies that message. And thanks, Eric, for pouring into us, for pouring into me personally, and all the stuff that you've done. So that's kind of my vlogging journey. And so now we're here sitting in front of my new Canon M50. If you don't know what that is, check it out. I don't know how it's going to look in the light. There's the setup I'm looking at. So there's the Canon M50. I'm not going to try to be a tech guy, but you might get more and more tech. Yep, see, I just set my Gorilla Pod down sideways. There we go. But check out Sean Cannell, Think Media. He's got a lot of great videos. Guy loves Jesus. And so I got some of my input and some techie input from Eric, from him, and just, you know, doing a Google search on the interweb and seeing what I should get. So I ended up with a Canon M50 because it's lightweight. I'm just upgrading now from my Samsung, which is the camera I'm talking to now. And just want something light and easy on the go. And something that I could just, you know, I also went with Canon because, hi Canon, how are you doing? I knew that in the future I would, I felt like from everything that I've heard that Canon had a better video quality. So I wanted to stick with that, particularly the EOS series, the M series, or not M series, but with the, I guess it's the EM lenses, like the EOS R is the next step up. It's got a weather seal body, stuff like that. A little bit out of my price range, but that's where I'll be going next. And so the M50 I thought would still in the future be a good portable camera, a good camera for B-roll once I got the EOS R, kind of, so then I would have more of a studio and layout. But build with what you have, you know. I was watching Casey Neistat last night, and he was like promoting cameras like this one, talking about how he used his phone for a long time, and he has different cameras from his 70D, which is his primary shooter, to the more expensive, to a point and shoot he just keeps in his backpack, which is a little bit of upgrade from a phone camera, but if it's something he wants to grab really quickly, he can just pull that out and shoot with it. And I'm like, this isn't going to be a techie video, but I'm talking about tech. I'm going to get a lot of editing I have to do if I keep kind of switching back and forth like this. Starbucks today. I got some Theory Collaborative from Reading for Christmas. I think that makes me a little bit more spiritual, but got to grind that stuff. So with this, it was Starbucks, just scoop and pour, man. I tried to have my website and my computer in the background, but my internet's acting kind of funny. You tired of me sitting around? Maybe I'll get up and walk around. I got some cool stuff coming. So me and Alicia are going to do some cool marriage stuff. You guys check that out. Oh, I'll show you my board. Here's the board. You've seen it in some of the other videos. Interesting. Now see, here's where the second light coming from this angle would kind of lit up the scene more. But if it was a brighter day outside, I'd have some of that natural light. I've taught on this board several times. It's my cool little blackboard, you know. But it's also where we put our ideas. Like me and my wife are in here brainstorming as a team, you know, husband and wife hanging out. We'll just throw these ideas up on the board and kind of see where we go. We're kind of in a state of transition, trying to figure out what's next, you know, as far as like where we're living and, you know, some of the different. I'm looking right at the viewfinder. Hi, I'm looking at you now. But like what kind of like? So I'm gonna take you through this real quick. I was wanting to anyways, but we'll just throw all that into this video. What areas of your life are you a novice? Are you an expert or intermediate? I guess expert, I guess, is kind of above intermediate, but it's still below master. So I've got things I'm learning. Like I have a vision for this, and I can tell you guys, come along with me for this vision. I have a vision to make this a really cool YouTube channel and go with it. I don't quite have the experience. Well, I have some experience. That's what I told you before. But I'm not quite mastered as far as YouTube goes, where I'm having all these different angles. I got a drone flying around me, orbiting my head, and looking at my different facial expressions while I'm talking to you guys. But we're developing it, growing it. So what areas are you, a novice, an expert, or a master? The areas that you're a master are things that you can build with now tangibly, because you not only have vision, but you have experience, and you had years to go with it. When you're a master, you're able to activate others in the same thing that burns in your heart. When you're a novice, you have vision. When you're an expert, you have the blueprints that are beginning to form, and you're starting to build off that. When you're a master, the building is built and you've been living in there for a while. So novice has the information, expert has the experience, and master is able to activate it or reproduce it in someone else's life. Boom, here's the different areas that we're kind of growing in. You know, informational, we got some books and different projects and teaching materials coming along we're working at. You know, kind of like what is School of Revivalist going to become, things like that. We have vision, but nothing is really tangible yet. Experiential, we have YouTube experience, podcast experience, some ministry stuff, some kingdom family stuff we're developing. Got a little bit of blueprints in place. Activational, what kind of things we mastered. We got our School of Revivalist actual teaching that's out and available. Oh, check this out. Here's our new improved Revivals and Revivalist cover. So check that out. And prophetic activation and marriage and things that we want to work on with this fancy light kit and this fancy camera. So brainstorm, get stuff up there, but that is one way to kind of separate what you're doing into 3 areas and kind of give you traction for what needs to be built before you present it to others. There's a kind of a balance between, I don't have any markers, proficiency and excellence. You don't have to wait until something is excellent to release it, because you're looking at proficiency. You want to get the ball rolling ahead of you with things that are ready to go, and then the excellence can kind of follow, and it can kind of shot it and whip it forward. Now, if you're a novice, you can say, I have some vision, but don't start talking about it like an expert. Here's the cool thing. Novices think they're experts a lot of the time, but the expert will always feel like they're a novice. Maintain that humility, that childlikeness. I went into full-blown teaching mode here. So get some experience with what you're doing, and then it's going to allow others to gravitate, because you know what? They're going to hear you and think, man, this guy knows what he's talking about. But then when you're a master, you've got legacy, you've got things built, you've got others around you who can testify to the fact that you not only know what you're talking about in that area, but you kind of rise to the top in that area. So you can begin to build whatever project you're working on. If it's ministry, if it's business, if it's a YouTube channel, different things like that, begin to grow and build from there. And so we looked at our own lives. So where are we novices? Where are we experts? And where are we masters? And how we can develop that. So look at your own life. I'm going to have probably in the future, once this goes a little bit from kind of lingering in between the first 2 to kind of hanging out in the second 2, I'll probably have a little bit more of a solid teaching on it, because this is something brand new. I felt like it was a combination of me learning from life and Holy Spirit revealing stuff to me. I'm holding my tripod like a gorilla pod and walking around the house. How's that look? Out of the light. Cuisinart coffee maker. You know, I had Krups for years, but I've got this set low and I don't have to angle it. One with the Cuisinart. I had 2 Krups. They crupped out. I would still get a Krups. Cuisinart's good. I used to think I was a coffee expert until I had friends that held these machines and were doing all these crazy pour-overs, gastro style. I don't know. I just keep it simple. Honestly, guys, I was just wanting to show you my light kit. Show you a couple of other cool things we have going. Oh, wow. What if A-roll and B-roll were to meet each other? Wow. Hello, B-roll. Hello, A-roll. I'll probably have to turn like this. B-roll. A-roll. B-roll. A-roll. Am I talking to you both at the same time? Wonder if I can make that work on the screen. Anyway, there's the Canon. Here's the kit. And thanks for hanging out. I'll leave you guys with that. guess I could stop recording this now. See you guys.